Hello comrades, this is Shady here, and as you guys can tell by the title, inside today's video, I am back with a brand new review, so let's get right into it. So some of the reviews of this film are IMDb gave it a 7.6 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 75 out of 100. The director of the film is Matthew Vaughn, and he's most notably known for directing this film, of course, and he also directed X-Men First Class and both the Kingsman films. The budget for the film is around $30 million, and in box office it made a little bit over $96 million. I believe it was like $96.2 million. And overall, I really enjoyed this film. Everything about it I liked. The humor, the action, the writing, the characters. The action is probably one of the best parts of this film. Matthew Vaughn has a very distinct style of action, and it is very apparent throughout this film that this is definitely a Matthew Vaughn film. His action looks like it's taken straight out of the comic books, and the reason for that being, I'm not 100% sure, but it just looks great with this story. The action is probably one of the best parts of it. It does use CGI inside some of the action sequences with the blood, and I really think it fits the aesthetic of his action, how it almost looks like it's taken out of a comic book. But I feel like with any other action, it would just look very bad and very unnatural. But like I said, it works really well with this world that this film set up, and just his aesthetic of his action sequences inside all of his films. The costume design for the most part is really good as well. All the characters look exactly like they do inside the comics. Granted, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know how well this movie holds up to the comics. I think this film is definitely very well made, and I believe the film and the comic were both made at the same time, so the stories are very similar. I think there's some minor changes, but that doesn't really affect my review because I've never read the comics before. I feel like the film really isn't credited for being probably the first meta, self-aware superhero movie that kind of sparked other films to occur, like the Deadpool films and a couple other ones. And like I said, I think this film deserves a lot more credit. I think this is an extremely underrated film. The action in it is great. Pretty much everything about it I liked. The actors do a really good job with their roles. The lead role is very likable inside this film. And even whenever there's not superhero stuff going on, I was still entertained because I really like the characters. The characters are really well written, their lines, and the film has a very good tone as well. It remains the same throughout most of the film. I would have liked to see a little bit more action inside the film. I think whenever the action's there, like I said, it's probably one of the best parts of the film. And overall, I just wish we would have gotten to see more action with Big Daddy, because he only really gets like one action scene inside the film, and that's probably the best part of the film. His action sequence is awesome. I will definitely leave a link in the description of that, and I'll definitely recommend watching his action sequence on YouTube. It is probably one of the best action sequences that I've seen in a superhero movie in a long time. And the film does use a POV shot inside one action sequences in general. Well, one action sequence, sorry. And it doesn't look terrible. I don't think POV shots look bad. I think POV shots can work really well inside action films. I think the best example of this is Hardcore Henry. The whole film is a POV set inside the point of view of the main character, and the action inside that film is pretty good. But inside this film, they use CGI whenever they used the POV shot inside one action sequence, and it just makes it look like some crappy video game from the early 2000s, and it honestly kind of ruined it. And the action sequence was pretty good until it used the POV shot, and it just doesn't look that great overall. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. I really like the action. The action's probably one of the best parts of the film. And in my opinion, this is Matthew Vaughn's best film yet. I'm going to give this film an 8.9 out of 10. That's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button to become a comrade today. Join the strongest army on YouTube, the Comrades. Drop a like on this video and turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified every single time I upload a video. Make sure you guys go check out my video from earlier today, and I'll be back again later today with brand new videos, so stay tuned for those. This is Chai signing off. Peace out.